Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I figured I was gonna do at least once a week a live stream. I haven't done a live stream in a long time. Um, Figured why not today, basically. Usually I'm just gonna live stream for maybe about 5-10 minutes or something like that. Just me, just ranting a little bit more than anything else in this situation. So basically, it was gonna talk. If you saw some of my videos much earlier in this channel or last year, basically, talking about Korea and Korea signing with the Mets, and basically saying like like there was still some caution uh, uh, as related to Korea basically and his his repaired ankle, and as far as some hesitation as to Mets going forward with the signing of the with the contract itself, basically finalizing the contract. Um, by the way, I won't be able to answer any questions. If you do, you could put the questions down or comments. I mean, whatever it is, I'll try to answer them after the end of this. Right now, I'll just try to. I'm just going to focus on ranting right now, and then I'll try to answer eventually later down the line. Again, one of those things is basically it's just more of a case where I'm just going to talk, and that's pretty much it. I'll try to answer your questions after the end of the thing. I don't know how to do two things at once in this case where I like talk and then answer, see the comments come in, and plus two if there's someone that comes on live, great. Anyways, as I said, basically related to Korea. So I don't know too much of the details, but it looks like he's signing with the Minnesota Twins, which kind of sucks. I mean, but at the same time, it might be good at the same time too. I mean, I don't know. The Mets did have the chance to finalize the contract, but I guess it was too much of a gamble, too much of a risk, which makes sense. I mean, honestly, we all thought that I thought personally that this wouldn't matter to Cohen. He was gonna still sign him anyways, and if it was a risk, fine. It's something where he would just do it as a tax write off in a ways. Quite honestly, but the thing is basically if he does get injured 5 years down, 5 years from now, for a full season or a season and two seasons for them, and some similar to what a David Wright issue basically or situation. Um, Insurance wouldn't cover it because insurance knows full well there's issues with it. So why would they cover something on that nature basically? So the Mets wouldn't get any money back as a result through insurance. So it kind of sucks in that situation. Now, could Korea have put the Mets over the top? Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to tell. We'll see what happens. But honestly, with his bat, it might have helped out considerably, considering like him and Lindor working together, playing together since their days, playing in the Puerto Rican League, or yeah, the Puerto Rican League. Um, I mean, honestly, those two as a duo would be great. With those two plus Alfonso, I mean Alonso, not Alfonso, Alonso, Pete Alonso. With those two plus Alonso, I mean, it probably would have like helped him, put the Mets over to the top basically. Now I think in this situation, because the fact that Korea is now signing with the Twins and it's not going through, I think the Mets can focus on a few things basically. The outfield, which they need to focus on. They need to focus on the outfield a little bit more, to be quite honest. Plus that DH position. I mean, Vogelbach is decent enough, but he's not great. And Ruff, come on, forget it. That was a big mistake on their part. And the other aspect as well too is catching. I mean, yeah, they got a catcher, but let's see what happens. I mean, they got Alvarez. The question now comes out to with Batty and with Batty basically, like where do you put Batty at that point? And Vientos. Honestly, those two, who knows what happens there. Let's see what happens. But in reality, I mean, they'll probably trade those two for someone else basically at this point. I would not be surprised, quite honestly. I would not be surprised the Mets trading maybe Batty and Vientos, and maybe even McNeil, to the Angels for Otani. I mean, honestly, McNeil is still on, like pretty cheap, and you got Batty and Vientos, which are pretty cheap too, of course, because like they're rookies. Otani's going, going to be a free agent. There's no way the Angels are going to resign him unless the Angels get some other serious players in play signed either this year and next year. Otani might not be with the Angels next year. He might be most likely with the Dodgers or maybe the Mets or Yankees for that matter. I don't think the Yankees are going to be upstaged by the Mets if the Mets sign Otani. But in reality, think about it this way. With the fact that how much Cohen was willing to pay for Correa for a guy that was damaged goods, it's going to be interesting to see what Otani's going to command at that point. I mean, I will not be surprised if the Mets don't make the playoff or don't advance far enough in the playoffs, that Cohen will go crazy and basically on a spending spree again, signing Otani and then waiting a little bit longer to sign Soto as well too. Because like I mean, granted, the Padres have enough capital now to re-sign Soto and keep him there, but I would not be surprised if the Mets make a play for Soto as well too. From San Diego. But then again, you know what? Otani could be signed with the Padres for that matter too, because if he's a California guy and loves being in this, Southern California, don't be surprised if he sticks with the or stays in Southern California, either in Los Angeles with the Dodgers or with the San Diego Padres. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Honestly, from my perspective, I would love to see if the Mets can actually get some more pitchers, more particularly some prospect pitching. To be quite honest, if they could trade some players here and there for some serious prospect pitchers that are up and coming, that'd be great. I mean, honestly, you saw how pitching leads you far. Basically, I mean, like the 2015 Mets. I mean, think about it, and maybe 2014 for them, and 2016. It was pretty much, at the time, of course, at the time, Matt Harvey, who was pretty good at that time, Matt Harvey, DeGrom, and Syndergaard, and then Matt's came in here and there as well too, and of course Wheeler. So I mean, those five right there. That if the Mets had kept those five, it'd be interesting to see what. And if Harvey didn't implode, it'd be interesting to see how the Mets would be from 2015 onwards. Granted, I think the fact that if the Wilpons were not there and Cohen had been there with the Mets, let's say from 2014 onwards, I think they would have had some serious bats in play as well too, for that matter. And like with those bats, I think we would have seen the Mets in the World Series much, far along the ways. But I don't know. We'll see what happens now. I mean, with the fact is, look at it this way: we got Buck Showalter, so I don't think this is going to be I mean, with the signing Correa, almost had signs of showing the '93 Mets. Like they signed all these power, of high end free agents, and look what happened in '93. That they had one of the second worst record or third worst record in all of Major League Baseball history at that time. I mean, honestly. With Showalter, I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see the Mets still at least be decent enough to definitely be above 500. Definitely be above 500, barring there's no injuries. Again, no injuries, of course. I will probably see a dramatic slide with both Verlander and Scherzer. I mean, it's they're paired up again, from the Detroit Tiger days. It'd be interesting to see if they could get Miguel Cabrera too. That'd be interesting too. But honestly, those two. Seeing where they're at, I mean, they did pretty good last year. Scherzer, was decent enough, good enough. But of course, during the playoffs, he kind of imploded at that point. Whereas Verlander, at least he went the opposite, did really well, and of course got a Cy Young. Now the question is can Verlander keep it up this year? It's a tough sell to see, honestly. I mean, honestly, we do see pitchers pretty much dive off a cliff at that point where they just go up here and then a nosedive when performance. And that's assuming if both Verlander and Scherzer are healthy. The question is, can they stay healthy for the extended period of time of 2023? Honestly, don't think so. I wish it was, but I don't think so. So again, I'll say this. With the Mets, this is going to be interesting to see what now with the Correa fiasco. Just like how the Giants did. With the San Francisco Giants though and Correa though, let's not forget this. From them, Correa was going to be the face of the team at that point, whereas with the Mets, he was going to have to basically compete to be the star of the New York Mets, compete with Lindor, Alonso, Verlander, Scherzer, and it seems like Nimmo a little bit as well too. It's going to be an interesting 2023, to be quite honest. I mean, like, to be honest with you, everyone's assuming the Mets will make the playoffs. I don't know about that. The way the Braves are, the way the Braves have been playing for the past couple of years, and they haven't lost as many people as that you would think they would have lost. And the way the Phillies have been signing some new, free agents, I think the NL East is going to be a very, very tough division. Let's see what happens with the Washington Nationals, and see who they come up with. I mean, right now it seems like they're at a impasse with with their players at this point. Honestly, I don't know what they're going to do with their players, but let's see. I really wish, like Correa, the Correa thing would have worked out, but of course it didn't. So now it's a matter of like, all right, what happens with the Mets? I honestly don't know. It comes down to this basically now. Who else is out there? Honestly, I don't think there is many out there right now that the Mets could sign at this point. I mean, the whole thing was with Korea, they could have traded some players that they needed, like Escobar, basically, and such, too, for other people. Unfortunately, they don't have that now. Now with this Korea, fall through, now they've got to scramble and get something else in play at this point. Um, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what the Marlins will do as well too, to be quite honest. But you know what? I don't think the Marlins are going to do anything at this point. And the fact that Degrom went over to Texas, it'll be interesting to see how that works as well too. But with him and I forgot the player, the other pitcher, and then there's Kumar Rocker, if he comes up at that point as well too. Honestly, I don't think that's going to work out, but we'll see what happens. I could be wrong for all I know. Um, but yeah, this is unfortunately this is a little. I don't want to say it's a setback, but we can say this. It's something that might have I don't want to say publicly humiliated Cohen, but public humiliation because of the fact that once the initial signing, he's like, oh, he's the one that's going to bring us over the top. This might not do that in this situation. It definitely doesn't do that in this situation. But at the same time, you know what? This could drive Korea to basically be more centric towards getting more star power into trying to build a super team. Basically, let's put it this way: don't be surprised with Cohen trying to build a super team for 2023 and 2024. And of course, then trying to build up the farm system at that same time as well too. But look, put it this way: if he can get Otani, either trade or signing him for next year in 2024 with all the players we have in place right now, uh, I think he's going to try to build that super team. And if that's that super team, and you know what, the Mets will be the team to be the the Mets will be the team to hate from here on out because it was like what the Yankees were in the past and still is in a ways where they always had the star players and you always rooted against them. Being a Mets fan, I would have to root against them. This might be the same thing as well too. We don't know what will happen with the Mets. I mean, if they do build a super team, they might be the team to hate. I really don't want to see that as a Mets fan, but you know what? It might come down to that at that point. I mean, I won't hate them, of course. I'll love to see them as a super team, to be quite honest. But um, this will be very interesting to see at this point. And honestly, like I don't know, I got to take a look and see who are the free agents, pitchers for free agency next year. You know what? I'm going to do a search right now. It's free agent pitchers 2024. 27 tracker. Here we go. Let's see. Scherzer is going to be a free agent, of course. Trevor Bauer, Otani, of course. Stroman's going to be free agent. It looks like Darvish, Kershaw, Morton, Len. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a big thing. McCullers, no. Kendricks, no one's going to have Eduardo Rodriguez. That might be an interesting thing to see. Urias, Syndergaard. Really, he's going to be free agent in 2024. Okay, I guess I thought he signed, but okay. Sorry, I'm looking at sportstrack.com. Basically, I'm looking at all the players that show who's going to be free agent for next year. But yeah, Otani's going to be free agent, and if Otani's a free agent next year, of course, as well as if Kershaw's a free agent next year as well too. Don't be surprised if, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised actually, to be quite honest with you, if Cohen basically tries to sign both Otani and Kershaw. That would be an interesting bullpen. I mean, that would be an interesting rotation basically with Otani, Kershaw, Verlander, and Scherzer if he signs them. I mean, three of them are a little bit over the hill, of course, but you know what? I mean, it would be interesting to see what happens there, to be quite honest. Let's see. Starting pitchers. Here we go. Update. Trevor Bauer will be probably free agent. If Dervish is a free agent as well too, and I heard Nola. Yeah, Do not be surprised to see if the Mets try to sign Aaron Nola, Darvish, Kershaw, and Otani. Um, Bauer kind of makes sense in a ways, but at the same time, I don't know if he's going to last that long. Kershaw, 36, is going to be 37 next year. It would definitely be interesting to see. Trevor Bauer is 35. I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's see what happens. I mean, this will be interesting to see. But again, with the Correa, Carlos Correa ordeal saga with the Mets, it looks like it's coming to an end. It looks like he's going to be a Minnesota Twins, unless the Twins have some stipulations in place. But yeah, I mean, this. Let's see what the ripple effect of this is with the Mets now. Like what they start doing and what's their reactions, and when I mean reaction, I mean is like how are they going to react as far as what players are they going to sign, or are they going to try to build up the farm system? I mean, honestly, like I said, don't be surprised if you do see the Mets trying to trade for Otani. Uh, it would make sense to be quite honest, unless the Angels could prove otherwise, to like that they can keep Otani. If I'm the Angels, I trade him, try to get some serious amount of prospects, and whatever maybe. And if anything, maybe I go to the Mets because like Cohen's willing to deal to get that star power in play as well too. To be quite honest, and I know he's willing to do it, and he's going to be probably confident enough to get Otani to keep him. But in reality, if the Angels are smart and Otani and Angels work together a little bit, they could probably go work together basically to the point where Otani could probably say, "Hey, boom, uh, you know, trade me for prospects, and I'll come back and resign with you guys, and see how that works at that point too." But in any case, if let me know your thoughts. Basically, I mean, granted, this was a live stream, and it's been about close to 17 minutes. But I figured one of my New Year's resolutions, I'm going to try to like stream at least once a week, at least once a week for sure, maybe more than that, but at least once a week, streaming something, real time, and letting you guys. And eventually, I'll try to get to the point where, like, when people start asking me questions, I'll try to answer them at that point as well too. But of course, I got to build my subscribers, so please subscribe as well too if you want to, be, subscribe. Because right now at this point, it's what 3:45, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is 12:30 PST. So it is what it is. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. And let me know your thoughts. Leave me some feedback and questions, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability related to the content. With that, I'll leave it at that.